Welcome back, YouTube. I'm going to be playing Generation 3 Overused, and I'm going to do a little team showcase before I play because this is a very off-meta, non-traditional team. So how I came up with the idea for this team was, originally I saw a team pretty similar on the ladder, but instead of Snorlax, they had a Steelix with, not a Steelix, sorry. They had a Registeel with Curse, so I kind of made a team similar to theirs, but instead of Registeel with Curse, I have Curse Snorlax. And I switched up the sets and other things, made them different. So for the first Pokemon, we have Defensive Salamence with Wish, Protect, Toxic, and Flamethrower. So this Defensive Salamence is utilizing Intimidate to boost Salamence's defense and play a role as a Wish user, a Wish passer. In Generation 3, Wish being passed isn't based on how high your HP stat is. It just passes a base 50% HP to whatever Pokemon comes in on it. Next up, we have Blissey. This is the Cleric of the team. It has Aromatherapy to get rid of status conditions, Thunder Wave, Seismic Toss, Soft Boiled. Then we have Claydol with Rapid Spin, Earthquake, Psychic, and Rest. This is a pretty defensive Claydol set, but the interesting thing with this set is using Rest instead of Explosion, because with Aromatherapy I can wake him back up, meaning I can come in multiple times to get rid of hazards. Suicune, which is a Calm Mind, Roar Suicune. This is like a pretty standard set, and one of the only standard sets in this team. Alakazam, offensive Alakazam with Knockoff, Psychic, Fire Punch, and Ice Punch. Knockoff, even though it only does 20 damage, is really useful for this team because knocking off leftovers from Pokemon, I'm able to chip them down better and make damage stick more with my offensive mod of Snorlax. This Snorlax set is very different than most Snorlax sets in Gen 3 because most of the time in Gen 3 he plays a pretty defensive role, and if he is cursing, it's like Curse Rest, and most of your IVs are going into special defense. But in this one, it's very heavy-handed with just your HP and your attack stat and a little on defense. Just trying to utilize Curse and just straight attacking power with Return, Focus Punch, and Earthquake. Originally I had Double Edge on this set, but I was finding the recoil to be too annoying, especially if I wasn't able to get a Wish past them. And then, so that's the set. And I named this team Double Blobs because it has both Blissey and Snorlax on this team. Alright, well, let's get right into our first battle. Another thing you'll notice with this team is even though it does have two normal types, I kind of get rid of that fighting weakness by the fact that I have a defensive Salamence and a defensive Claydol on the team, and an Alakazam. So I do make up for that. I'm just going to go... I went for a Protect there, trying to see if he'd go for a Hidden Power Ice. Instead, he switches in Magneton, which if he switches in Magneton straight into Salamence, he probably has Hidden Power Ice. I'm just going to switch into Blissey here. I kind of regret going for a Protect because now I revealed I'm a defensive Salamence because no normal Salamence would run that. Get a Paralysis off on Snorlax. I'm just going to go for one Seismic Toss here. I'm just going to go for another Seismic Toss here. As Dugtrio comes in. I'm just going to go for another Seismic Toss here. As I'm able to actually heal past Earthquake's damage, I'm just going to go for a Seismic Toss and hope I can come in later with Blissey by using a Wish Pass, as I'm able to live on 4% health. But my opponent forfeits. Well, if my opponent didn't forfeit, my plan was to Wish Pass to get my Blissey back in. I'm assuming I don't know. I don't know why they forfeited, to be honest. I wasn't like in a crazy lead or anything, but let's just get into the next game. I mean, they might have been running a more special offense and really needed Blissey gone, and when that didn't work, they might have just panic forfeited. Alright, lead Metagross a lot of the times is running lead Explosion, so I'm going to Protect in case he goes for Explosion here. As he goes Meteor Mash instead. I'm pretty defensive, so I'll just stay in and go for Flamethrower. If he is running a a choice band set, I should be fine here. As he is running choice band because that did a lot of damage. I'm just going to go for a protect. I'm just going to go for the kill with flamethrower because if I got him down to 51, I could very well get the kill with that. He's switching to Starmie. I'm going to protect just to get a little bit more healing off. He's Psychic, which is pretty odd to have on Starmie, so I'm guessing he either doesn't have Ice Beam or he doesn't have Rapid Spin. One of those two things you probably be rid of. I'm just going to switch in Blissey here and try to get a Thunder Wave on a Pokemon coming in. Honestly, the Pokemon I'm worried about coming in most is just Metagross, because if he comes in to Explode, I don't really have a good switch into that. But regardless, I'm just going to go for Thunder Wave as he goes Swampert. I'm just going to go into Salamence to get a defense drop on Swampert as he just goes Earthquake. Swampert probably has Ice Beam, so I'm just going to protect, trying to scout that as he goes for Protect himself. He has Protect and Earthquake, so he might be a Refresh pert, meaning that Toxic won't do anything. So if that's the case, I'm just going to switch in Suicune. Yes, he does go Ice Beam, so he has Ice Beam, Protect, Earthquake. Probably Surf or Refresh in that last move slot. I mean, he goes Jump. Jumpluff is probably just going to go for Encore here or Leap. But regardless, I'm just going to go into Claydol as he goes Encore. I was going into Claydol on a Grass type, which seems dumb, but most likely he was going Encore or Leech Seed. Leech Seed I can Rapid Spin, and Encore just does nothing to me. I'm just going to switch back out into my Salamence here as he goes Blissey. I'm just going to protect, try to scout if he has Toxic or Thunder Wave, as he's actually Calm Mind. That's pretty unfortunate. I guess I'll just Roar Blissey out. He probably has Thunderbolt, but at the same time, I don't have a good switch into this. Roar's kind of just my best bet. As he goes Swampert here, I'm just going to Calm Mind, because I really want to see if he has Toxic. Because I'm trying to just get him to pressure me into resting, and then eventually I'll just go for Aromatherapy. The only good damage I've gotten on his team so far in 16 turns is against Metagross. Everything else kind of full health. Alright, Calm Mind was pretty good here. I'm just going to go for Roar, as I do find out the last mon is Tyranitar. That's good to know. I'm just going to go for Surf here, because my Suicune would outspeed most Tyranitar sets. I'm just going to go for Rest, as I'll outspeed here. Or should I go for Roar? I think I'm just going to go for Rest and then switch out. Like I said, I don't have a great switch into Blissey, but we'll cross that bridge when it comes. I just really don't want to switch out and have to come in later and rest, because there's no guarantee I'll get a good switch in, especially with Jumpluff on his team and Starmie with Thunderbolt. As he goes for Calm Mind here, which is pretty typical. That's what I assumed he was going to do. From here, I'm just going to go to my own Blissey and Thunder Wave. Even though he has Natural Cure and it will get rid of it on switch out, at least I'll be able to have some speed control. So I'll just Thunder Wave, Aromatherapy, and just try chipping him down with Seismic Toss. This Blissey is going to prove to be a pretty big problem, because one of my main win conditions is Calm Mind Suicune, which obviously gets thudded into by Blissey. The good thing about Roar on Suicune is the fact that I can face Blissey out. But once Blissey starts boosting up, I really don't want to get hit by a Thunderbolt. I'm just going to go for Seismic Toss. I'm guessing he's going to go for a recover here. I mean a soft boiled here. So I'm just going to go for aromatherapy to get my Suicune woken up. I'm just going to stay in Seismic Toss. He's not really going to threaten my Blissey till he's at like max special attack. It's going to stink if my Blissey does die though, because my Blissey is really good into Jump Off and Starmie. Yeah, Seismic Toss is not doing enough. I'm unfortunately probably going to get broken through here, but I really can't switch because I can't afford to switch in and have something get Thunderbolt or Ice Beamed. Ice Beam and Thunderbolt kind of take out most of my team. If I had Explosion on Claydol, that'd be a very ideal because I could just come in and blow up, but I have Rest. Also, the fact that Thunderbolt or Ice Beam could freeze or paralyze me is very annoying, because then he might be able to outspeed, as I am frozen, which is very unfortunate. I'm guessing he's going to go for... yeah, I'm froze. I was guessing he was going to go for soft boiled there, but I didn't want to risk switching something else on. So I'm just going to go for the unfreeze chance and just keep trying to soft boiled as he is paralyzed. I'm in a really bad position here. Alright, I got unthawed. That's good. But he still has 12 more Ice Beams left, which is a lot of chances to freeze me again. My Blissey does have some speed on it. It's not like 0 speed Bliss. I have 160 speed when base speed for Blissey is like, the lowest is 103, but I think base without a negative speed nature is like in the 120s. So if he does paralyze me, I will still outspeed his Blissey. So if he gets a para, that'd be way better than being frozen, because frozen is just multiple turns in a row where I'm not able to do anything and he might break through. Granted, I'm probably going to run out of recovers. I mean soft boileds. I'm just hoping that he's going to go for a Thunderbolt, and he does. I'm just trying to get some damage off with Claydol. I get that I understand the fact that Ice Beam will kill me, but I'm just trying to get some chip damage on this, because I need to break through this Blissey or my team's going to lose, and I don't want to lose my Blissey. Oh, he switches out. That's crazy. Oh, he probably thought I was going to explode. Oh, that makes sense. Because most Claydol sets do run Explosion, so he probably switched out fearing the worst, that I was going to explode. But yeah, I didn't even have Explosion, but glad he switched out. He's probably just going Ice Beam, so I'm just going to go into my Blissey here. Frozen again. Jeez, he keeps freezing my Pokemon here. Just going to go into Suicune. Take the Earthquake. I'm just going to Calm Mind here. As he goes Jump Bluff. Jump Bluff's probably just going to go Encore, so I'm just going to switch out into my Salamence here. As he goes Encore. Pretty obvious play. I'm just going to go for a Toxic here. As he's probably just going to yeah, so he switches in Blissey. Toxic putting Blissey on a timer means that Blissey's not going to stay in Calm Mind, or at least not staying for long in Calm Mind. I'm just going to switch into my Alakazam here. As he switches in Jump Bluff. I have synchronized, so if he statuses me, he'll be status himself. So I'm just gonna knock off whatever item he has. Actually, yeah, that's a good idea. Knock off on Bliss is amazing because now without leftovers, he's gonna be taking chip damage by the sand that he set up. It's pretty ironic that the sand he set up is gonna be what's gonna be his undoing. But yeah, that's very good. Knock off on Blissey is great because he's gonna just continuously take chip damage. I'm frozen again. Holy cow. Jeez, this Blissey's getting very lucky. Been frozen so many times. Because now I'm forced to come in and use aromatherapy to unfreeze him. But now I can actually force him to use soft boiled more because the sand chip will help out. I'm just going to go for Thunder Wave here. Yeah, that knockoff on Blissey was really good. Also, my Alakazam, by the way, is a modest nature, so I'm not max speed, but the speed that he has at modest is 1 speed more than a Pokemon with base 100 at max speed. So, for example, say the Salamence was at base 100 speed, it'd be 328, and then the Alakazam's 339. Well, no, that's more than 1. That'd be like 10 more points, but whatever. I digress. Yeah, you see that I'm forcing him to use soft-boiled earlier because of the sand. He's down to 10 soft-boileds. I have 12, so he's actually used more soft-boileds than I have. Which means that my Blissey's kind of winning the war of attrition here. Even though Calm Mind Bliss should be able to break through regular Blissey, between paralysis and chip damage from the sand, I'm in a pretty decent position here. I say decent because I don't want to say great because obviously he's froze me multiple times. He can also get crit hits. So it's not that he can't break through. It's just, it's definitely harder with leftovers gone. Because I'm getting him down chip the light better. I'm going to hard switch in Claydol here, which may be risky because he could just go for Ice Beam. But I'm just trying to make a play as he goes soft boiled. I'm just going to go for rest here as he switches out. But now that I revealed rest, he probably knows I don't have explosion. I'm just gonna switch in Suicune here as he switches in Metagross. I'm just gonna go for a Surf here, as he might just go for Explosion, but I'm just gonna go for Surf. I'm not gonna try to predict. Actually, I'm gonna go for, I kind of want to go for Calm Mind. But yeah, Jump Bluff makes sense. Yeah, he's probably just going to go for Encore me into that, which is fine. I'm just going to go Blissey as he gets his Thunder Wave off. I mean, not Thunder Wave, Leech Seed off, sorry. Yeah, I'm just going to go for Thunder Wave and then pivot out. I'm not going for Thunder Wave. I'm just going to go... I'm going to go into Alakazam here. I haven't revealed I have Snorlax yet just because his Tyranitar checks my Snorlax pretty hard. And so does his Metagross. But once one of those two are down, I can probably switch and start doing stuff. Also, because of my Synchronize, which means if I'm status, he's status, now his Jump Bluff is paralyzed. Which is incredibly good because Jump Bluff being paralyzed, because he doesn't have aromatherapy on this team because Blissey's revealed the Calm Mind. Jump Bluff being paralyzed means that he can no longer come in and Encore me into Calm Mind. He also can't come in and Encore me into Curse unless I've set up multiple curses because he'll be slower. So that's really great because Jump Bluff is mainly just, Encore, Stun Spore, Leech Seed. It's a very annoying Pokemon, but now it's unable to threaten me. But this shows you that even though Alakazam isn't used much in Generation 3, it definitely has a use. Any Pokemon with knockoff, for the most part, is pretty good in my opinion, because obviously knocking off items is great. But also just, Pokemon goes for status, their status back. And on this team with aromatherapy, where I can cure my team of status from like rest and other status conditions, it's really good. Also, my opponent's, I don't know if you can see it, but my opponent's timer is ticking down a lot. He's probably just trying to desperately think of what his plan of action is. Yeah, see, he's down to 8 soft boileds. That knockoff just shows you that even though it's a 20 damage special move, knocking off leftovers when there's a constant sandstorm up causes so much havoc. Also, he just pivoted out and I just cured my team of status. I'm guessing Metagross is going to either go for Meteor Mash or Explosion here. So I'm just going to switch on my Suicune as he misses Meteor Mash. I'm just going to go for a Surf here as he goes Jumpluff. But now Jumpluff no longer outspeeds me, which is good. I'm just going to go for Roar here as he gets a Leech Seed off. Switches in Blissey, which is probably the worst thing that could have come in. Alright, here's a good time to go Snorlax as he goes Metagross. My Snorlax, my Snorlax does have Earthquake. I'm just trying to debate if I should go Earthquake or try to switch out. I'll switch out. Ooh, that did a lot. Holy cow, that did a lot. And he got the boost. I'm just going to go Earthquake as I'm dead now. Yikes. Well, I'm going to come in and Fire Punch with Alakazam. That should take him out. Because like I said, I'm modest, so my special attack is extremely high. As he switches into Blissey. Makes sense. But yeah, that's very unfortunate. I knew Choice Band did a lot, but like that did even more than I thought it was going to do. Very annoying. Just going to go into Blissey, Thunder Wave. Just going to go for Thunder Wave here. Because my Blissey's winning the War of Attrition. I still have 12 soft boiled left. He has 8. Just going to pivot out into Snorlax. Going to boost up here. Actually, I'm not even going to boost up. I'm going to go for Earthquake. I'm going to predict that Metagross to come in. Just going to go for Earthquake here. As Jumpluff comes in. That's not who I thought was coming in. I mean, nothing Jumpluff can do to me is really going to annoy me that bad, so I'm just going to go for Return. As he'll die from Sand. Because, like I said before, this is a very offensive Snorlax. This is a very defensive team, but this is not your typical defensive Snorlax set. I'm just going to... I'm going to predict him to go for like a Dragon Dance. I'm just going to go for Focus Punch here. As he goes for Dragon Dance, he'll die to Focus Punch. I mean, this is very threatening. I mean, someone on my team is going to die. Unfortunately. I think Salamence is my least useful Mon. As he misses. Salamence is my least useful Mon because it's like Salamence gets checked by Swampert, Starmie, and Blissey because Toxic can't stand Blissey and Swampert has Ice Beam and Starmie most likely has Ice Beam. Oh yeah, Starmie has Ice Beam, Swampert has Ice Beam, so it's, yeah. He was my least useful Pokemon. I'm going to make a really bold play. I'm predicting he's going to go Soft Boiled, so I'm just going to go for a Wish here. He could very well go for Ice Beam, but if he does go for Ice Beam, at least I get the Wish off and I'll get a free switch / heal into one of my Pokemon. As he just goes for Soft Boiled here. And now he's down to 7 Soft Boileds. So yeah, I'm just going to switch in my... I'm not even going to switch in anything. I'm just going to Protect. I'm going to Calm Mind. Healed up. Just going to switch in my Blissey and go for Thunder Wave. I'm in a position where I'm really threatened by Metagross, but if I get the paralysis off on switching, at least I can chip it down with one Seismic Toss. See, that sand itself is getting him down into healing range without me having to do any attack moves. As he gets paralyzed, see, he's getting chipped down a lot. I'm just going to go, I'm just going to go right into my Snorlax here, as I'm predicting he's going to just going to soft-boiled. I really want to Earthquake, predicting the Metagross switch, but I think I'm going to go Focus Punch instead, because if he gets paralyzed, that Focus Punch will kill. If he switches out, Swampert and Metagross neither want to take a Focus Punch, and if he goes for a boost move, Focus Punch is going to hit hard. See, I think Focus Punch is the play here, as he gets paralyzed. So yeah, Blissey goes down. Snorlax putting in the work. Snorlax's Focus Punch took out Tyranitar from full, Blissey from basically full. And yeah, here I'm just going to go Metagross. If he explodes, he explodes. Meteor Mash won't kill me. Just going to go for Flamethrower here, get the damage off. I can finish him off with Alakazam with Fire Punch, as he goes Starmie instead. As I have the easiest pivot into Blissey ever. Now I have multiple win conditions still alive. Snorlax is alive, can Curse up. My Suicune can Calm Mind up. And no need to predict, I'm just going to go soft-boiled. There's a good switch into my Suicune. As he goes for Metagross. I'm just going to go for the damage. If he takes me out with Explosion, he takes me out with Explosion. As he goes Meteor Mash. Yeah, Meteor Mash only does 26. So from here, I'm just going to Surf again. I was going to go for Rest, but if he decided to stay in and keep punching, that would have been a pretty bad position for me. From here, I'm just going to go Rest. If he would have gone for Thunderbolt, that would have taken me out, but he probably assumed I was switching. Just going to go Blissey here. From here, Thunder Wave's the obvious play because Starmie and Metagross don't want to be Thunder Waved, so instead of going for a Thunder Wave, I'm just going to go for Aromatherapy to wake my Suicune up. And from here, he's probably just going Earthquake, so I'm just going to switch into my Salamence, getting Intimidated off. From here, I'm just going to set up a Wish. He's going to take me out with Ice Beam, but that's fine. My Salamence is basically useless besides slightly checking Metagross. And from here, after that Wish comes in. He's been intimidated, so he can't really do anything to me. So I'm just going to Curse up. Holy cow, that crit did a lot. Good thing is the Wish is coming in. Yep, there we go. Yeah, because crits ignore stat drops and stat boosts. So for me, I'm just going to go for Return. He's probably going to explode here. So I'm just going to switch into Suicune. As he goes boom, that's fine. One of my win conditions is dead, but I still have Snorlax to clean this game up. But before I use Snorlax to clean this game up, I'm going to try to get some value with my Alakazam here. I'm going to knock off this Starmie because it's offensive Starmie, meaning it doesn't have Recover. It probably has Hydro Pump or Surf in the last stat. And now I knocked off Swampert's leftovers, so Swampert can't heal up as much. So now I'm just going to come in, use Soft Boiled, and then I'm just going to start Seismic Tossing. Because each Seismic Toss he won't be able to heal because he doesn't have leftovers. That shows you the value of knockoff. Even in old generations, before Gen 6, when it didn't do 60 damage, then 90 if it knocks off an item. Even with only doing 20 damage, it's so useful to just knock off healing. Especially in Pokemon like Blissey, because I kept forcing Blissey to go soft boiled just because it was getting chipped away by sand. But even a Pokemon that's immune to sand like Swampert, every damage I do now is just permanent. Just going to go for another. I don't know why he goes Ice Beam there. Alakazam and Swampert aren't really affected by Ice Beam. Maybe just trying to force a freeze or something. Yeah, I guess he's going for freezes. But yeah, no, this is just going to Seismic Toss my way to victory, unless he gets a crit. Kind of a boring win here, but, not every game's as exciting as the last, as they say. And I could switch in my Snorlax to make a more exciting Curse and attack, but it's like, if I end up getting crit again, that's just going to be extremely annoying. And it's a lot easier just to Seismic Toss and win. As my opponent says GG and forfeits, that's a fair forfeit, especially because it wasn't super early in the game. And yeah, I hope you enjoy this game. Let me know if you enjoy watching defensive teams like this. I get most of the time I play like a lot of like boom offense and GSC, and this was a lot more defensive of a game. But if you like this kind of team, let me know. And if you enjoy watching my Pokemon content, feel free to like and subscribe. Leave a comment about the video, or leave a comment about what kind of team structures you like in Gen 3, or who's your favorite niche Gen 3 pick. I love Alakazam. He's not used much, but you might have a niche Gen 3 pick like Ninjask or something. So feel free to let me know, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye.